Hello, my name is Ajiro, but you can call me. And today we're going to be talking about the industry's focus on youth, particularly for women, often leads to reduced opportunities for actresses once they surpass a certain age. There's pressure to maintain an ever youthful appearance. This can lead to stress, extreme diets, or cosmetic procedures. Getting older could mean less acting roles or actresses being shoehorned into playing limited roles which center around the fact that the character is older. Oftentimes, a very attractive it girl actress from the 90s or even 2000s who used to play the very attractive and intelligent archetype nowadays plays a mom or a stepmom. Both roles don't negate the actress from being desirable, but the now older actress is put in those mom/stepmom roles because the actress is not supposed to be seen as desirable or as attractive anymore. An example of an actress who faced fewer roles as she got older is Teri Hatcher. The still beautiful Teri Hatcher was a major star in the 1990s and early 2000s. She grew to popularity playing Lois Lane in Lois and Clark: The New Adventures of Superman, playing the intelligent vixen co-star, armed with beauty and brains.
Clark?
Just a sec, Lois.
What you working on?
She is now mostly known for her role as Susan Myers on Desperate Housewives, where she played an adorable, clumsy, girl next door type. Susan Myers is a divorcee single mom who often finds herself in troubling situations because she's so clumsy and adorable. Teri played this role from age 40 to 48, and her character definitely still held a lot of desirability. However, as she got older, Teri reported that she struggled to find roles in Hollywood. In a 2015 interview, Teri revealed how she was told by agents that she was too old to play romantic leads, and said that her career prospects declined as she aged. Teri's experience shows how older actresses often have to fight for roles. Aging also affects porn stars. Older performers often face fewer opportunities as the industry favors younger talents. Like the acting and entertainment industry, there's also a pressure to maintain a youthful appearance, which leads to stress, extreme diets, and questionable cosmetic procedures. Older ex workers are pigeonholed into niche roles like MILF or Cougar and other age defined roles. Again, still desirable, but they're only now allowed to be desirable in this one way. An example of a corn star who transitioned into the MILF category is Tara Lynn Fox. Tara Lynn Fox, originally known for her younger roles in the adult industry, transitioned into the MILF category as she aged, leveraging her experience and fanbase, and she has become one of the more well-known performers in that niche. But an example of a corn star who faced fewer opportunities as she got older is Stoya. Stoya, a popular adult film entertainer, was one of the top stars in the industry in her 20s. In a 2015 interview, she openly discussed how her career slowed down as she aged. She mentioned that the industry tends to favor younger performers, and as she aged, roles became less frequent. Stoya's experience reflects a broader trend in the adult film industry, where younger performers are often more in demand, leading to fewer opportunities for those who grow older. Actresses and ex workers are often presumed to have chosen an easier approach to life, or found themselves in a nice, cushy position. They simply live on Easy Street. Sydney Sweeney has attested to the fact that even though she really showed great acting skills on Euphoria, barely anyone recognized her talent because she went topless several times. Sydney Sweeney finally feels that she's getting the recognition that she deserves as an actor after an impressive resume of acting and producing credits at the age of 24. But she told Cosmopolitan that some of her explicit scenes in the HBO hit series Euphoria seem to have hindered positive acknowledgement in the industry. I don't think as many people took me seriously in Euphoria, she said, because I took my shirt off. With the White Lotus, all of a sudden, all these people came out of the woodwork. Like, you're the most amazing. But I went through the craziest emotional roller coaster in Euphoria, she added. To me, in addition to the White Lotus, I think season 2 of Euphoria really showed Sydney's skill and acting range when it comes to her body language during her performances. The same goes for ex workers. Corn stars are often disrespected and told to get a real job, even though their work is relevant because a lot of people watch their content. During the day, they're looked down on and disrespected on the internet, especially when they make the mistake of making a valid intellectual comment on a serious topic on a social media platform. They're often looked down on and told to go do what they're only good for. But when it's 1 a.m., they're the best thing since sliced bread, and people are so grateful that they do what they do. Actresses are often lowballed in comparison to their male counterparts when it comes to acting roles. So much so that it makes headlines when an actor protests against working on a movie if their actress co star isn't being paid as much as he is. Movie makers will often perpetuate the excuse that male actors just draw in more of an audience. Or they will simply say that there's no gender pay disparity, but they also can't provide a reason why they're paying the male co star way more than the actress. And it's even worse when it comes to women of color. They face an additional pay disparity compared to their white female counterparts. Women of color often face typecasting into specific roles that can limit their earning potential and career opportunities. Like Viola Davis said, the only thing that separates women of color from anyone else is opportunity. You cannot win an Emmy for roles that are simply not there. Taraji P. Henson said that she's always asked why she works so hard, and she says that she has to. And unfortunately, every time she does amazing things every year, when it comes to renegotiating her contract, it seems like she never did any of the amazing things she did. There are always more glass ceilings for her to break through. She's always lowballed every single time. As if she isn't Taraji P. Henson, the same woman who delivered this very emotional and iconic scene.
And I work like a dog day and night, living off of coffee from a pot none of you want to touch.
While X work is the only industry where women make more than the men, confirmed in a 2016 Industry Insiders report, stating that women earned between $800 to $1,000 per heteroaxial scene, while men earned about $500 to $600. Unfortunately, in that same X work industry, there are discriminatory race pay gaps, with female performers of color often receiving lower pay compared to white actresses. Estimates suggest that women of color earn between half to three-quarters of what white actresses make, with black corn stars earning the least. In a boy/girl scene, one girl, one guy, no X, the market dictates a minimum of $800 to $900 per scene for the girl. Now, a white girl will start at $800 and go up from there, but a black girl will have to start at $500, then hit a ceiling of about $800. In Hollywood and the adult film industry, women of color often face typecasting into specific roles that can again limit their earning potential and career opportunities. In the adult entertainment industry, Hispanic women are portrayed as promiscuous with a high X drive and low impulse control, ready for X wherever and whenever. They are the maids that are seduced by the rich husbands, the secretaries given oral X to their white corporate bosses, or the unfaithful wives. They are the hot and spicy girls giving their body for a green card because, of course, most of them are undocumented immigrants. Those are the roles pornography puts them in, and they reinforce existing stereotypes in their society. It tells the men in their society that they like to be hypersexualized and dominated, and tells Hispanic women how their actualities are supposed to manifest. Black women are treated even worse, seen as the Jezebel or the black ghetto who needs to be taught a lesson for being disrespectful to her man. In pornography, Asian women are fetishized as submissive and exotic. Unlike the stereotypes of Black and Hispanic women, she doesn't need to be tamed, as she is already actually submissive to men. They are made to be seen, played with, or touched, but not heard. Their value relies only on their bodies or looks. Mainstream media, including the porn industry, has created a dangerous myth that Asian women enjoy being dominated or serve at the behest of someone else's pleasure, said Rachel Kuo in an article on the Huffington Post. These disparities highlight systemic issues within the adults and Hollywood film industry, reflecting broader societal challenges related to race and gender. The casting couch is a term a lot of people have heard before. It long started even before the old Hollywood days of Marilyn Monroe. On July 14, 1956, Picturegoer, a British fan magazine, published the first chapter of an explosive four-part expose about the casting couch that is simultaneously revelatory and depressing. It reveals that Weinstein's playbook for abusing women would have been right at home in the 1950s. The series was called The Perils of Show Business, but it dealt with exactly one peril: men who promised actresses career advancement in exchange for actual favors. Eric Walker and Tom Hutchinson shared that what women discovered was an industry in which abuse was commonplace and consequences were non-existent. Of course, the entire story is filtered through Walker and Hutchinson's own biases and the unstated assumptions of the time, that it was the responsibility of actresses to avoid what the reporters repeatedly described as temptation, and that women who yielded to producers' pressure were to blame for any career fallout that followed. Most of the actresses quoted in the piece had to follow an elaborate system of rules to avoid harassment, unfortunately. Marigold Russell summed them up like this: 1. When you have to talk business, stick to offices and office hours. 2. Refer invitations and offers to your agent. 3. Don't give your home phone number. Give your agents. In 2017, the hashtag #MeToo movement exposed some of the big names in Hollywood who had still been practicing the casting couch, a disgusting abuse of power. In The Hollywood Reporter, Mira Sorvino, I really hope I pronounced that decently, alright, said that she couldn't say for certain that her career was impacted after she refused Harvey Weinstein's advances when she was a young actress on the verge of stardom. I was not offered any movie roles past 1996, she said, wondering just how Weinstein may have retaliated against her. In an interview with New Zealand Stuff, blockbuster director Peter Jackson addressed the Weinstein scandal and said that he was told by Weinstein's company not to hire actresses Sorvino and Ashley Judd, the latter of whom also had rejected Weinstein's sexual advances in a Beverly Hills hotel room around the same time. I recall Miramax telling us they were a nightmare to work with, and we should avoid them at all costs. This was probably in 1998, Jackson told writer Danny McDonald. At the time, we had no reason to question what these guys were telling us, but in hindsight, I realized that this was very likely the Miramax smear campaign in full swing. I now suspect we were fed false information about both of these talented women, and as a direct result, their names were removed from our casting list, Jackson continued. Jackson's statement immediately struck a nerve, not only with Judd and Sorvino, but with women who have experienced similar harassment in the workplace. Judd summed it up to Esquire, saying, "Our greatest fear is being thrown out of a tribe, and that's what happens when we're being aggressed upon. We'll get thrown out if we don't comply." Actual coercion in the adult entertainment industry involves pressuring individuals into non-consensual sexual activities through manipulation, deceit, or even threats. Producers often use economic coercion to overpower a vulnerable person by getting them to submit sexually. Joey Francis, the founder of the Girls Gone Wild franchise, faced numerous accusations of sexual exploitation and coercion. Women involved in the videos reported being pressured into exposing themselves or engaging in sexual activities without proper consent. Francis has faced legal actions including arrest for racketeering and child prostitution, and imprisonment for assaulting women. Joey doesn't have any boundaries whatsoever with anyone, especially with girls, said former cameraman Mark Schmitz. I got him literally on tape lifting a girl's shirt up. It's horrible to watch that stuff. Ultimately, Francis said in the docuseries he does not feel pity for the girls who were featured on Girls Gone Wild tapes. I don't believe they were victimized, he said in the interview. He then suggested that the girls who came forward victimized him and his company. Several accusations were made about Francis and his actions while running the notorious adult entertainment company in the new three-part Peacock docuseries, Girls Gone Wild: The Untold Story. Francis, who fled the United States from Mexico in 2015, has long defended his tactics, mentioning in a deposition featured in the film, "If I took no for an answer, I wouldn't be where I was." Wow. Um, yeah, that's okay. In the docuseries, Francis said that having daughters has not at all changed his view of Girls Gone Wild either. If anything, he said, it has reaffirmed my belief that all women are independent in their thinking and all women make their own decisions. He added, women in Girls Gone Wild, they choose to be in Girls Gone Wild. Yeah, throw him right in there with Weinstein. Anyway, thanks for watching my video if you did. It means a lot to me. Yeah, those were just some of the similarities that I thought of when it comes to actresses and ex-workers. Yeah, I will not ask you to like and subscribe or comment. You will like, subscribe, and comment if you want to. But if the spirit moves you, or if my witchcraft just happens to work, I'm glad you stayed and I hope to see you again. Bye.